Okay, the Inkwell egg is the very first egg. As soon as you watch the cutscene, you talk to this Booker guy over here, so you got to roll up there and actually talk to him, interact with him a little bit, and then he tells you about this scroll and this ancient stuff, so blah, blah, blah. The door opens downstairs. What you want to do before you go down there, come up here and grab this little bag, and then go down there and grab the scroll. You're going to need that bag for a DIY egg later on. So then there's this little cutscene. Apparently, when you grab the scroll, the raven turns evil or something. You can't get out the way you came, but there is a little hatch down there, and you're supposed to jump over and kind of just learn how to do some parkour. You're supposed to do double jumping and stuff, and then at the end you will find an egg, and then you climb up the stairs from there, and then after you climb up the stairs, that is your first egg, and then you go talk to Booker again, and he's gonna give you a book to help you go to other parts of the map. Okay, so the teapot egg is a freebie egg here in Wonderland. Just wander around and eventually you'll run into one. See, I found one there. You'll probably see a whole bunch of them throughout the level. It's definitely a freebie egg. Even after you get it, you'll still probably see a bunch of them lying around in different places, and they can be in all sorts of locations. So if you just wander around Wonderland, you will eventually find the teapot egg. Okay, in order to get the good night egg, you start out in Wonderland, and then you climb up this big tree like you did when you were trying to invite Petey, the guest. So you bounce up there, and instead of going up that ramp, you turn around, and then you take a left, and then you see this little teleporter here that will send you to Merlin's Swamp. You turn around, and you see that sign, and then you just head in that direction where there's a bunch of rocks over there, and then there's this little knight egg who will charge at you, and then as he charges at you, you get out of the way, and then you just jump on his head, and you got to keep doing that like 3 or 4 times. But if somebody else jumps on them, they're going to get the egg, so it's kind of going to be people in the server competing for it. So once you are the person who hits them last, you will get the goodnight egg. Okay, the Egg of Well is in Wonderland. If you take a left, as soon as you spawn, you'll see this big well. And around the well, you might find 1 or 2 eggs, but most of them you're going to find over by where the houses are. And as you can see here, it's kind of a little bit of a walk from where the well is. So if you kind of go towards where you spawned and then just kind of hug the right of the wall, then you'll find yourself to those houses. And you just need to get 3 coins. So this is the 3rd coin. Found that one over in the houses as well. We're going to bring this one over to the well. And then once you put all 3 of those coins inside of the well, then you can see here, you will get awarded with the Egg of Well is what you get. So you find the Egg of Well, and it's a pretty cool looking egg. And the well will change colors each time you put one of those coins in there. Okay, the painted rose egg, as soon as you spawn, just go to the left and keep running because you're going to go to this little maze, this big grass maze here. There's lots of stuff in there that you do, but we're going to talk about what you're supposed to do to get this egg in particular. I've got a crowbar now as a part of trying to get Insanely Luke out to invite him to the party, so I got that too. And then also there's the croquet, but after you get the croquet, just go out of there and then stay to the right, and then you will find this opening where you talk to the King of Hearts, and he basically needs your help finishing up painting these roses. So he gives you 10 tomatoes, and you've got this little thing that's moving kind of weird. So just wait and don't click until the target is actually on the thing that you're trying to paint. It should be pretty easy. You just have to be patient with the moving target because it kind of wiggles a little bit, and then you'll get the painted rose egg as soon as you are done with that. Okay, we're going to show you guys how to get the Yoker egg here in Wonderland. So go in the tree in the middle and then climb up to the top. You can basically just keep hopping on the mushrooms, go around, find those mushrooms, get up to the top. You'll eventually get to a level where you'll find a ramp, and then you can go up the ramp, and that's where you talk to Petey to invite him. But across the other side, if you jump over here, double jump and then leap, and then you can get onto this branch. Basically, there's other ways to get up here too. You can just get up to this area, but get to the top where there's a wagon here, and then you go in there, and there's basically, it's a hidden egg thing. You're going to have to watch the cups, and as the cups move around, just make sure you pay attention to the right egg, because if you get the wrong one like I just did there, then you're going to have to start all over. So you get the right one 3 times in a row, and then after you get it 3 times in a row, you will be awarded with the Yoker egg that looks exactly like that jester dude who's back behind the egg. So there's the Yoker egg. Pretty easy to get, but you just got to make sure you keep your eye on the appropriate cup. To get the alligator egg, first you have to teleport to Merlin's swamp from Wonderland. So you go into Wonderland, and then that big tree in the middle, we've been here before. So we go into the middle of the tree, we climb up to the top as far as we can. Looks like my character fell there just a little bit, so we're going to try to climb to the top. Look for those mushrooms, and find the mushrooms and use those to bounce a little bit higher to the next level. And basically try to follow this path and get to the top. Once you're up there, see this little ramp where you would go up there, then you want to come down the ramp and take a left and a left to hit that. And then, so the alligator egg is going to spawn in a bunch of different locations. Just, I recommend just kind of work yourself around the map. It may pop up in the middle of the swamp somewhere. Usually I tend to see it in the swamp somewhere, but after you get it, it's another one of those free eggs that you'll end up seeing around in other places. So just keep walking around. As you can see, I haven't found it yet, but eventually try to look out as far as possible and see the egg. You'll just find it in one spot. There's so many different spots that it actually spawns, so just keep walking around and you will find it. In order to get the dragon, or the dragon egg, first you start in Wonderland Grove, and then you climb up that big tree. As always, we're going to head to this little teleport here around the corner. You climb up the tree, bounce on these little mushrooms to try to get up to the top. And this is the teleporter that we've used many times before. It just goes around this corner. Follow this path, then you get taken to this place called Merlin's Swamp. Once you're in Merlin's Swamp, you just climb up to the top. There's this big tower. You actually don't have to go and talk to Merlin before, but basically he says that you need to collect 5 pieces of armor, which are laid around the map, and there are 5 different places, and we will show you exactly where those pieces of armor are held. The first one here is down below this tower. There's a little swamp underneath, and then there's a little opening, and then you get the helmet right there. And then follow this path and we will show you basically how to get all of the pieces of armor. I think there's, what, 6 or 7 pieces total that you have to get. So let's see, over here along the end, see this is where you battled that thing. In the stone walls, you can find a piece of armor in there. Okay, now up along this rock cliff, you want to crawl to the top, go through this hole, take a left, and then you will find the gloves right over there. Then across this bridge, find these bushes here on the right, and you will find the boots here hidden in those bushes. Now what you're trying to do is go and find the waterfall. So the waterfall, if you go along, is over here off to the left. Now there's some things that you got to do. Basically, you press that button when you first get in there. It opens one drawbridge, then you come in here, press another button, opens another drawbridge. Then you go across to the other side, push another button, opens the final drawbridge. Now you have to go over to this last area and get the sword. Now you have to play a mini game. You have to go back and forth, basically pressing A and D on your keyboard. So A and then D and A and D, A and D, and you want to keep that little line there within within that whole space. Otherwise, and you want to keep it green for 5 seconds. So you got to keep doing that, and then when you're done with that, you get the Excalibur sword, and that will be on your back. So now you just want to walk outside of this little area and then hug the left side of the map and just stay left, and then you will find the chest armor right there. So now that you've got all 6 pieces of the armor, you want to go back to the middle where Merlin was. So just make your way to the middle. Don't want to hit the water because the water will actually harm you. So go to the top and then talk to Merlin. And now after you talk to Merlin, it's going to be time to battle against a dragon. You may have to wait a little bit. But after you wait and you're the first person when it says dragon ready there in the sign, go talk to Merlin and the dragon is ready for battle. He's recovered from his last battle. So you go to click on to battle, and then what you're supposed to do here once you start battling him is you want to stand on the little ledges over here. Let him finish with his breathing of fire, and then after he finishes breathing fire, then you go and you stand on him, and then you press the A button. You go there, you stand on him, you press the A button. You got to keep doing it a couple times. It's hard to really tell if you're doing any damage to him at all, so just keep doing that. Stand on these ledges, let him breathe his fire, don't get hit by the fire, stand on him, press A, and then eventually, or click on the trigger. It depends on if you're on computer or Xbox or what, but then eventually when you're done, you just keep going back and forth and doing that. Don't get hit by his fire, stand on him, press A, and then you'll get the dragon egg as a part of this event. Okay, so to get the treasured egg of Wonderland, where you start off, first all you have to do is, before you talk to any of the guests, you have to go and find the queen. She's in the tree, and then you go and talk to her, and then she basically tells you that she's having a party, and you have to invite everybody. Grab the pepper next to the table, and then head up here, and then feed it to the pig, and then someone will come out and now do the Harlem Shake. You've invited him, and then you go over around here, and let's see, I'm just picking up coins and putting them in the well as part of another egg that we'll do a video for, but then around the other side there is this guy, Builder Boy. You invite him, and then Beism is over here. She asks you a question. The answer is pink, so the pink fountain is in the other place. Now we're going across the map to a slightly different area. Future website owner, he's just kind of along the perimeter there. You want to invite him. And let's see, yeah, we got Beism. There's this other guy at this pink house around all the houses, Outro. You got to get him. Let's see, go up here to this house as well, and this guy's locked inside. There's a key around the side of his house. You have to grab the key and then let Bill Thomas out, and then you can invite him to the party. And then there's a crowbar in another house right next to it. So you grab that crowbar, and then across the map way, just stick to the left. And if you keep going, hugging the left, you'll find the maze here along the perimeter. You go in the maze, and you're trying to find Insanely Luke so that you can let him out. So just follow where I am here. Around from the corner from those arches. So if you've got the crowbar, you can let him out and you can invite Insanely Luke. Now you want to go to the croquet game and talk to Be Slick Music. Then you have to play a croquet game. You've got 12 hits and you have to go in 6 of these things. Sometimes the ball seems to stick, so you may have to try this a couple times. Just try to avoid like hitting any of the hoops or any of the other balls or hitting the wall, because then the ball might stick a little bit and then you'll have to kind of start over again. But if you have to start over again, just press the B button and quit if your ball's not moving and try it again. It's good to just kind of be pretty quick, and if you kind of shoot while the ball's moving, you're okay. And then you invite those 3 people after that. There's another mini game inside the maze, but we're going to do that in another video for the rows. And then you want to get out of the maze around this corner here. So now that you're outside of the maze, over by close to where Gert is, you head up this archway. See this little shrub right here? You want to grab that shrub, but then you want to go back to the party and you want to make yourself small. You have to be small. There's 2 people that you have to be small in order to invite. So you want to kind of look for, see that checkered pattern? There's this thing that sort of looks like a checkered pattern and a little hallway that you'll get to. It's like, it's not that one, it's not this one. Also, moving around when you're really small is kind of a pain. You move around really slow, so just kind of jump and leap and try to get as far as you can. Okay, let's see. Alright, so this little cave over here with these lights dangling, there's a little area in here. You want to go in there and then go to the back. And then in the back, whoop, make sure you don't drop your shrubbery or you're going to have to go and come back. Give it to this little worm thing, and then you can invite Iuzi over to the party as well. And then you invite Iuzi to the party. There is also, while you're small, go to the, just get out of this little tiny town area again that you're in, and go find where the houses are. And amongst the houses, try to keep your eyes open for a small well. So there's one of these houses that has a really small door and has a really small well next to it. As you can see, I'm bouncing around, trying pretty hard to find it, but eventually you'll find it if you keep hopping around and you're in this house area. Let's see here. Okay, there it is. So see this well? You want to go in this house and you want to invite this person, Algie Lacey. So after you invite that person, you can actually go and find one of those little small cupcakes, and you can use that to make yourself big again. There's one over here by this house, because when you're big, it's a lot easier to move around. So we've got a few more people to invite. Go in the big tree in the middle, and then keep climbing around and bounce up. You can basically follow what I'm doing. See these little mushrooms? They help you bounce, so jump on those and get up higher and higher, and then find this ramp and go up this ramp, and then you'll see PDK 473 over there at the top of that. Okay, now you're gonna come back down. Let's see. And then this guy, Busy City guy, he's again kind of just chilling there out in the perimeter. Then find this waterfall and then invite Woot 3. And that's it. After you've invited all 15 people, go back to the queen over here and then talk to her, and she will give you the treasure egg of Wonderland. Okay, so the eggplant is in Easterbury Canals. It's another free one. Just run along, and eventually next to one of these plants on the right side, you will just see an egg next to it. It kind of shows up randomly. See, it's right there. There you go. So it's next to one of those plants, and then you'll just find it randomly. It's a free one. Just wander around, and eventually you will find it. Okay, so this egg chup egg is a little bit annoying, and it's found in Easterbury Canals. Basically, in the beginning, in this open area, there's a bunch of these little eggs that spawn, but as soon as you run towards them, they run away from you. But the trick is to get them to, go up against a building. You have to basically trap them up against the building like I did. The corner where the stairs, that's kind of a good spot. So basically, try to get them over there, and then you can get yourself an egg chup, which is like ketchup. Once you catch up to it, you got it. You're good to go. Okay, so the sugar crystal egg is in Easterbury Canal, so you're going to want to make sure you go to that level. In the beginning, you just kind of head back and then remember this path that we took earlier, past the ice cream shop and keep going past even further, and you'll see this blue area. This is the candy shop. You're going to talk to Carol Malapple, get it Caramel Malapple, like caramel apple, and then basically go downstairs, and then there's this little trail that you have to run. It's a little bit of an obby. Halfway through, you'll find a piece of sugar, and then you just keep going. You're going to do a lot of double jumping and diving, so make sure you know how to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to make those jumps. And then just bring the sugar upstairs, up the ladder, and bring it over to Carol, and then give it to her, and she will give you the sugar crystal egg. So that is pretty straightforward. That is how to get the sugar crystal egg, and very easy to do. Okay, here I'm going to show you how to get the Demeaning Egg. Basically, I just walked out of the chocolate factory. Also, just think that this guy is located across from the ice cream place. See the pink ice cream across the way? So the pink ice cream place, you go talk to Jeremy. See how it's right there across? And then he gives you this egg. But this egg makes you move around all weird. It's very difficult to hold, and you drop it every 10 seconds. And if you drop it and then don't pick it up within 5 seconds, then it disappears and you got to go back to Jeremy and get the egg. But basically, follow this path. You need to take this egg over to the spa, and the spa is basically across the river from where you start out. See this little white building right here, white and black? Basically, you got to take this egg in there and then bring him into the pool, and then he's going to chill out, and then you get yourself the Demeaning Egg. It's kind of a pain because it really pushes you around, so it might take a few attempts to get used to, but then that's the Demeaning Egg. Okay, to get the Mad Scientist egg, you're going to want to start out in Easterbury Canals, and this is where you start from the spawn. There's this little teleporter, so follow where I went in this game, and then it's going to teleport you to this place called Stein's Basement. There's like this mad scientist down there, and he's got some creepy rat that you need to cage up. So the doors won't open yet. You might have to walk around. Just remember there's a teleporter there because the rat might glitch out a couple times, because I've had him glitch like on the stairs. So have him follow you around the room. There are 3 red squares on the floor, and you want to have him follow you into those squares. So have him go onto that square, and then he gets put into a cage for a little while, and then there are 2 other squares up at the top. I looked around, I thought there was going to be 4 squares, but it looks like there's 3. So get him to follow you up on the top. He almost glitched there, and then have him go over the second red square, and then just wait over on the other side and have him come over to the red square again. And then after you do that 3 times, then you will get rewarded with the Mad Scientist egg. To get the Club Egg Skewer egg, you want to go to Easterbury Canals and then follow this path along here. It's not too far, but then you want to get to, it's, I believe, Chunky's Barbecue in there. Go in there, talk to Paul inside. He's got a piece of ice. You grab the ice, and then you put it on the grill, and then basically you have to solve this little puzzle here, and just watch how I do it, and then look at the final view, and then try to make it look like that. You have to complete each part, and then you press the red button. After you press the red button, whichever ones you have wrong will turn red. See how that one turns red? So I had to fix that one, and that's the one that I need to fix. And then you just go through, you're trying to connect all of these so that all the steam can go through the whole system. Just watch this video and see how I do it. Okay, so then you press the final button, and then after you press the button and it's solved, you will get the Club Egg Skewer egg. Egg didn't pop up for me, but it's in my inventory, so that is how you get the Club Egg Skewer egg in Easterbury Canals. Okay, so the feast egg is in Easterbury Canals. Go to this little restaurant here that's just across the bridge from where you spawn. You talk to the chef, and then basically in here you've got plates, you've got meat, you've got lettuce, you've got buns, you've got tomatoes. The tomatoes and the lettuce you have to basically, okay, so the meat you take over here to the grill. You have to cook that for 30 seconds. Any of the lettuce or any of the tomatoes you have to take over here to the chopping block to chop them before you put them on. And you also have to lay a plate down and then get a bun in there. Basically, go out and take the orders from the customers. Like this guy wants that stuff. Okay, so he wants meat. We're going to put the meat on there first, put down the plate. Then we're going to put down the bread, and then he wants tomatoes. Put the tomatoes on there. Get the meat, get the order exactly how he wants it. Make sure the meat is fully cooked, and then bring it out to the customer. And then you just go through this with the number of customers you have. If you have a whole lot of people in the server, then you might want to have, you're going to be dealing with a lot more customers. You might want to have one person that is like getting the plates prepped, putting all the plates down, one person that is doing nothing but cooking the meat, somebody who is making sure all of the lettuce and the tomato things are filled and ready to go, and that each person has their own thing. So if you can get into a small server and you manage to be the only one who gets in the restaurant, you'll only have to take care of about 4 customers, and then after you take care of the 4 customers, you will get the egg. Okay, so now that I've fed my last customer, I've got the feast egg, and that is how you guys do it for that one. Okay, so as soon as you spawn, you want to talk to the mayor right behind you to get the treasured cuisine egg. If you don't talk to him, then you won't start the thing, but basically he tells you that you need to set up a tent. There's 2 tents here. One of them is complete, and then one of them is not. So basically, you have to go back and forth and grab all of those dishes and make the second tent on the right side look exactly like the tent next to it. Basically, you grab one of each item, and there's a specific spot where it goes on the table. And if you need reference, just look at the tent right next to it, and that'll show you what you need to do. Then go talk to the mayor again. After you talk to him, you gotta go to the chocolate factory, so just run right across where he's facing basically, and then go to this chocolate factory and talk to Billy Bonka, and then he says that he needs Sub-Zero ice cream, so he needs like super cold ice cream. You leave the chocolate factory, you take a left, and you just go way down the road because you're looking for this pink building that is the ice cream shop. So it's just down here. See this pink building? Now talk to Isaac in there. After you talk to him, you want to make sure you grab this Sub-Zero ice. Don't grab the other ice. You have to grab the correct ice there in the corner, and then milk, and then sugar, and then whatever flavor. Push the green button, and then you've made yourself some ice cream, and you're going to go out of the ice cream shop, take a right, and head back over to Billy Bonka's chocolate factory, and then you're going to basically bring this ice cream in and put it in a little spot to try to cool down his machine. So once you've got the ice cream, you can go inside of the door after you talk to him. And once you go inside the factory, stick to the left, try to avoid the mist or those spills on the ground, or you're going to end up, I'll show you here. So basically, if you get into this where you're tipping it, you want to move your mouse away from where that thing is pointing. If the thing goes in one direction, just move your mouse, and then you can just save it. Otherwise, you're going to have to go make another ice cream cone, and then dump it in this thing, and then you don't have to worry about the mist or the spills anymore. Just go back out there, talk to Billy Bonka one more time, and then he says, go tell the mayor that everything's good to go, and then you can just hop across over here, and then talk to the mayor, and then after you talk to him, he will give you the treasured cuisine egg. Alright, it's pretty straightforward, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you have to do, and you have to do it in a specific order in order to get that egg. The newspaper egg is in Hardboiled City, so go around the corner to the subway and then go down to the Capon Yards, or the Capon Yards, I'm not sure. So go up there and wander around. This is another free egg that just kind of spawns randomly in a bunch of different spots, so there's a bunch of different spots where it will turn up. This is where I found it, was behind the storage sheds, and that's how you get the newspaper egg. Look around the level and see if you can find it, because you should see it glowing, and then just go walk into it, and then it's all yours. Okay, so the doggo egg is in Hardboiled City, and it's basically in a bunch of different spawn locations. For me, it was under here, but I found many other doggo eggs when I was recording, so it's one of those freebie eggs that when you walk around in the Sunny Heights area of Hardboiled City, you will just find it. It will just show up somewhere. So this is one of the spots. If you want to, if you see this little spot, try to get it down there, but if you walk around the city, you will eventually find it. It's a freebie egg. To get the excellent egg tour egg, you got to be in Hardboiled City. After you spawn, take a right and go all the way to the other side of the block where the subway station is. Go down to the subway station and go to Frittata Square. Come out and then just go straight because that's, you know, some like it Gert is what's playing. So you go in there, you go to the back and talk to this Richard Simmons guy. And the easiest way to do this is with a mouse and a keyboard. If you do it on a controller, it might be a little more challenging. So I recommend just clicking on them in order. The colors are going to show up on a certain order in the bottom, and then after they pop up on the top, you just want to click them in the same order as in the bottom. See how like a letter will actually correspond to that? You can press the keys, but it's really so much easier to use your mouse and then just go and click on those colors, and then that way you can do it. It's pretty easy. Can be difficult if you do it the other way, just trying to remember where all the keys are. But after you do this, you can see on the right side there's an indicator, and it says that you can collect the egg after the green goes all the way to the top. Then you just finish it, and then you end up with the excellent egg tour egg. Okay, right after you spawn, go into the police station, grab this lockpick kit out of that room back there in the middle, and then go out and then go to the subway station, and you're going to go to Cap'n Yards is the name of the place you're going to head to. Then come around the corner, and then there's this door. It's usually locked, but with your lockpick kit, you can get through there. You want to jump over these little wires here. Sometimes that guy will notice you, but use double jumps to get over those first ones, and then you're going to jump over some boxes here, clear the way. Usually you have to worry about some people walking around here, but there's disguise pieces. There's 3 pieces, and watch the video to see where the pieces are hidden. There's one kind of there when you first find it, one kind of in the back, and then one here to the right. And then after you have all 3 pieces, you can walk past that guy. You can't walk past him if you don't have all 3 pieces. And then this part's kind of a pain. There's a bunch of lights moving around, and if you have lag, they might move at like different speeds. Like they slowed down for me, which helped me get to it. But if it's moving fast, there's certain spots that you can see where I waited, and the lights won't hit you when you're in these certain locations. But in the back here is the Capone egg. Then it'll transfer you outside of the subway station, and then you will have the Capone egg in your inventory. Okay, so the garbage egg is here in Hardboiled City. As soon as you start, you want to go back around to the corner, go to the subway station, and you want to travel over to Cap'n Yards. So go in there, go up the stairs, talk to this guy over here at the garbage place. His name is Dustin. Basically, you need to find 5 pieces of garbage, and I'm going to show you where all these pieces of garbage are. You want to drop them all in that garbage chute. So that first one's right around the corner. Next one, you leave, you take a right, and then it's back there in the back of the alley. Then you want to bring that back, and then bring it up and put it into the garbage chute. Don't get stuck up there because that is sort of a pain. Next one is here in this construction area. So you go around the corner and you will find the 3rd piece of garbage there. Put that in the trash compactor. And then the 4th piece is back here in this little storage shed area. So you bring that in there, and just like the other ones, put it in the trash compactor. It's like some sort of incinerator, because after you get it, you have to get the egg. You have to go and grab the egg before it's burnt. So the other one is back in the corner behind a box, like on the very end of the dock. So just follow the path that I'm taking it here, and it will show you exactly how to get there. Once you get in there, put it in the trash compactor and go down in this little area and stand on the egg, and then there you go, you will get the garbage egg, and then you will get all fired up, and then you'll go oof, and you'll get teleported somewhere else. Okay, the investigator is in Hardboiled City is where you're going to find the egg. So as soon as you spawn, right in front of you is a police station. Go in there and talk to Lieutenant Francisco, and she says that something's going on at a hotel. So you have to go all the way around the corner to a subway, and you're going to head to Frittata Square. So go down there, go to Frittata Square, and then head up and then take a right, and then there's a hotel there. You don't really have to talk to any of the NPCs. Just head to the back and to the elevator, and make sure you go to the apartment, and then in the apartment there's like 7 pieces of evidence, and just watch this video to see where all of the evidence pieces are. There's some behind that rocking chair, and then you go into this room back here, there's one back there, there's one back here in this corner, and then in the bathroom there's a little key, and then in the closet there's 2 pieces of evidence, and then the egg will say, we need to go talk to the investigator. So now you're going to go back to the subway and head back to the city that you were at. Sunnyside Heights, I believe is the name of it. So you want to head back there to Sunnyside, and then back to the police station, because you've got evidence that you want to bring to the police investigator. So you just take a left out of the subway station. That's the bookstore, so remember about that bookstore. You're going to go there later. Bring the evidence to her, let her know that you got evidence, and they're like, whoa, you need to go to the bookstore. So now you go back to that bookstore that you passed around the corner here, and you see a criminal there, and then you bust him, and then you get the special reward, which is the investigator, because you're such a great investigator, and we can never have too many puns. This Egg Hunt 2013 Sugar Egg is found from Hardboiled City. You want to get between two buildings and climb up to the top and just look around up there. You're trying to find a teleporter. As you can see, there's the teleporter up there, so I've got to get up to that little spot. A lot of these buildings are really close and you can double jump. Just get your way up there and teleport because you're going to head off to a place called Festival of Eggs. So this is one of the more time-consuming eggs that you have to get because you have to find 22 tickets. But fly to the island that you see a big stage and then find Bobby, B-Slick, right there in the middle. You talk to him. Basically, he doesn't have his guitar, so you have to get a guitar from this lady. But this lady is not going to give you the guitar until you bring her 22 tickets, like 22 of them, and they're hidden all over the map. So you go talk to this person. I think her name is, yes, Karen. Talk to Karen, and she says she needs 22 tickets before she can give you a guitar. In this main map, if you walk around, you can see there's a whole bunch of tickets just in this main map. So you just walk around there, go around there, and go to all these little places. The tickets are floating. They're pretty easy to see. They've got little sparkles, as you can see in there. Most of the little mini games have a ticket in front of them. Go inside of tents as well. See the tents right there. And you don't really have to talk to any of the NPCs. Most of these aren't hidden too difficult. I think I've shown most of them here. If you see like a horse on any of these, then you might find that they're in there. A bunch of them are in the air, and so you want to go through the air, and most of the ones, I think all of the ones in the air were basically inside of one of those little loops. So just go around and fly around and check all of the loops and go between and get all of those tickets. And yeah, basically just watch what I'm doing here in this video. It's sped up a little bit, but you should be able to see basically where all the tickets are. I was able to find all 21 of them pretty quickly, and I removed a whole bunch of the video for me just looking for that very last one. It was really difficult. So see, there's one up here by this little egg thing. Just go through each of the maps and you will find it. The ones in the air, the last one I get here on that island, you'll see is the last one that was really difficult for me to find. There's one on the island with B-Slick in the stage behind him. Basically, just watch where I go in this video, and hopefully this will help you find all of the tickets. Okay, so that castle up there, remember at the top of the castle in the middle map, there is a ticket up there. But one of those cannons might shoot you out. There's this one in that little bouncy house. Get that ticket as well. So there's one here, around here. That's the one around the other side of the boxes is the one that I missed. It was totally just around the corner there, and that was the one that I missed there. So make sure you get the one here on this level that's around the corner on the other side of the boxes. See, right here, that was the last one that I had to find, and then after I got that one, I've got the 22 tickets. So now you want to go back over to Karen. Now that you have the 22 tickets, and Karen over here will give you the guitar. Karen is in the main map in the middle over by where the airplanes are. So now you've got a guitar on your back, and you just fly over to the stage and talk to B-Slick. And then B-Slick says, cool, now we just have 8 confetti cannons around the map. Luckily, there's little indicators that show you where these confetti cannons are. You just have to go find them and touch them. And then after you touch all 8 of these, go and talk to B-Slick again. So again, we've got this video sped up so you can see exactly where all these cannons are. But watch and use this as an example. But it shouldn't be too hard because there are little indicators that tell you exactly where you need to go. Okay, so now that you've got all 8 of them, you go back to the stage and you talk to Beaslick and you tell him that the cannons are ready, and he gives you the egg. So that is the 2013 Egg Hunt Sugar Egg. Okay, the hard-boiled treasure egg is here in Hard-Boiled City, of course. It takes a few steps, so it's going to take a little time. Go into the police station right in front of you where you spawn and talk to Commissioner Souza there in the back, and then he's going to tell you basically that you need to go to find this mob boss. So you're going to go around the corner to the subway and then go to Cap'n Yards, and then you go up there, and then to the right back behind the trash area you go into this open warehouse, and this guy's shooting at you, so you have to duck and dodge and try to find a way to jump up there and talk to him without getting shot. He's probably going to shoot you a couple times, but you have to get up there, get close enough, talk to him, and then he'll give you information. So basically he doesn't want to get arrested, so he's going to give you information about somebody else. So you have to go back over to Sunnyside Heights. So go back out there, go to the subway, and then send yourself back to Sunnyside Heights, and then you're going to find the warehouse around the corner here in the alley downstairs, and then there's this door. The middle door you can walk through, and then you've got this slime stuff that's going up and down, so you have to traverse your way through it. It's going to take a few tries. It's pretty hard, so just make sure you get yourself across there, and then once you do, you talk to this guy Frank, and then you get more information on the mob boss guy, and then you have to basically reset your character because that stuff is still going to kill you. So you just reset, but you're okay. You have to go talk to the commissioner again now because you've gotten more information. The commissioner is going to give you a picture of an informant, and there are basically 3 informants around the map here in Sunnyside Heights, or at least I've found 3. Any one of them could be your informant. You gotta just find the one that matches the picture. Yours might have glasses, but then there's one in the alley that you find, and then if it's the wrong informant, they'll just say, "Don't blow my cover, but I'm not the informant that you're looking for." There's that one in the alley, then there's one in front of the museum. If you can find the museum, there's some guy next to it. That actually happens in this video as well, because that is not my informant, but here we go, next to the museum, another person. So that's 0 for 2 out of the informants that I'm looking for. That Hannah person is not an informant. So I just keep going around and keep going around the map until you end up finding your informant. This one is mine. I talked to him. Then they gave me information about the Don, that he's staying at the hotel suite in Furtada Square. So we know where that is, so we're going to go back to the subway, and we're going to take ourselves over to Furtada Square and transfer over there, and then get out of the subway station, take a right, and then the hotel is that really big building out there. So this time we're not going to go to the apartment, we are going to the penthouse. So go to the penthouse and then go all the way to the back and then talk to this guy and arrest Pandini, the mob boss. And then you basically get teleported to Commissioner Souza, and then he's going to say congratulations and award you with the hard-boiled treasure egg. Okay, this rock that looks like an egg rock is here in Ruins of Wukong. From where you spawn, you just turn around and then go towards where all these big rocks are. There's kind of rocks lying around. It's basically a free egg. You're going to find it all over the place. You might find it on top of these rocks. There's a whole bunch of locations, and even after you find it, see, there's another one right there. There's another one right there. It's basically just a free egg that you'll find lying around. The King Cobra egg is in Ruins of Wukong, so from the spawn point, look at where we're heading, back behind the shop owner. Shout out to Fire and Ice Battle for showing me where this was. We headed up there, past the waterfall, across this little spot, and there was some of these eggs back there. It looks like a cobra, and it's one of those free eggs that just kind of pops up, and you can get it. As you can see back there, there's another one, so there's several of them out in the different spots, so you just kind of have to search around and find this one, and that is the King Cobreg. Okay, the Dance Dance Eggolution is in Ruins of Wukong. Again, you're going to head over to this temple over here, and this guy right in the back, just talk to him. His name's Akal, and he talks about dancing and pleasing the gods and stuff. So all you have to do is, this is kind of like Guitar Hero. You have to push the buttons at the right timing as they're coming through. So it works with a controller, or you can use the keyboard or whatever. And on the right side, you can see there's this thing that shows your progress to collecting the egg. It's not really hard. You can miss a lot of them and still collect an egg. So this one's almost like a freebie egg, but after you go through it and you get enough combos, you get the Dance Dance Eggolution egg afterwards from that guy in the back. The monkeying around egg is in the ruins of Wukong, so when you start, just go across that little trail, and right behind that shop owner, you go shake that tree for a banana, you pick up the banana, and then just follow this trail, you jump over back behind there, behind the river, and then past those little Stonehenge things on the right, and then keep going past that, and then you will see this lady here on the right, go past her, go over this bridge, and then this little area, this jungle area, you keep following the path a little further back, and you will find a little monkey dangling right there, and then he'll come down, he will take the banana from you, and then he will give you the monkeying around egg. Okay, in order to get the idle egg, you're in the ruins of Wukong. After you spawn, go across the bridge over to where the temple is in the middle of the map, basically. Go inside the temple and then take a right, and then down there where the blue pool is, you take another right, and then keep going straight, and then you'll see this idol appear, and then you'll get transported down into this other level. You basically, I would go into first person so you can see exactly how to dodge. You have to roll around that first corner, so as soon as you go around that first corner, make sure you roll. If you drop the idol, you're gonna have to pick it up, and there's a ball behind you that's gonna basically squish you, so you have to go really, really fast. It might take a couple times, but towards the end, just hide off to the side, let the ball roll past you, and then after that, get off, go to the right side, don't just jump forward or you'll die and you'll have to do it again, and then you go off to the right side and then go off on these pillars, and then you swim here. You've got the idle egg and you are good to go. Okay, so the jungle flower egg is in the ruins of Wukong. Again, when you start from the spawn point, you want to head over across the bridge, and then in this little village, you're going to see this person, that person right there, there's a bucket. Grab the bucket next to her, then go inside the temple, grab the blue water. Now, if you're holding the water, you don't want to do your double jump flip thing, or you're going to spill the water, and you're going to have to go back in there, and you're going to have to get more water. Then around this hut here, this person, Kalali, there's a flower. She tells you about a flower, and now you have to water it in a certain order. The order is blue, red, and purple. So then that was the blue water. Now come back here, follow this path to the red water. It's around the other side of the temple. You'll see there's a little thing that holds red water. Again, go back to the village and find the little plant. Now you put the red water in there. Now follow this path over here. You can actually take one of these barrels and shoot this barrel over to this thing. You're going to drop the barrel, so make sure you go and pick it up, and then or the bucket, and then go get this purple water. You can't shoot in the barrel to shoot all the way back, otherwise you're gonna spill the water. You have to go back, so just walk this path. So now you're gonna walk back over to the flower. This is basically the direction you have to go. It's a little harder with bringing the purple back, but after you bring the purple back and you water it in that order, you will get the jungle flower egg. So make sure you do it. The blue water, the red water, and then the purple water, and then just watch this video to see the path that I take to get all those different colors of water. Okay, to get the treasured egg of the jungle temple, you go across over into this temple from the spawn. You go in there, and then you go down and to the right, and then go to the left side, and then you got to grab a stick of dynamite, and then go across the pool, and then over to the right, and open the door and talk to that Daniel guy. And then after you talk to him, he's going to tell you to go talk to the chief. So you go back out from where you came, and then come and talk to the chief Takai over around the corner here, and then you have to battle this guy here, Nima, and then after you battle against him, you go and talk to the chief again, and they say you got to get 4 fruits, and then the fruits are here. There's one right around the corner on the spikes, one in there inside the building, one on this table, and then one on this tree, and then you climb up to the top of the temple, and then in the middle you press the button, and then a door opened behind a waterfall. Then you go down the corner of the temple, and then behind this waterfall here in the middle, you will go and you will find a key. After you grab that key, you want to head back over to the temple and head inside, back down where you blew up that door, basically. You go in the temple, you go to the right, you go down there, and then to the right of the pool, and then to the right again, and then down all the way down here. You use that key, and then you get in this place where you have to do this boss battle against this skeleton dude. So he's gonna spawn a bunch of different skeletons. You just go and kind of chop through them. They're not too hard, but you want to keep moving around because he's shooting you with an arrow, and then every now and then after a couple waves, he comes down, and then you have to try to hit him as many times as you can. So you keep trying to hit him, try to move around so you don't lose too much of your life, and I think he comes down like 3 or 4 times before you can actually take him out for good. Like even on this last round, he had 0 life, and then he went up there again, and then I had to battle a bunch more skeletons. So he's gonna come down one more time, and then after he comes down, you should be able to handle him, finish him off, and then after you finish him off, it will teleport you back to the front. So, oh, he actually got some life here on this one. I'm not sure how or why, but he gets some life every now and then. But then treasure egg of the jungle temple will be yours and will be in your inventory. Okay, the Explorer egg is in the ruins of Wukong. As soon as you spawn, you want to go to this little bridge, and then you see this big temple in the middle. You want to go into the temple, and then as soon as you go in there, you go down to the right, and then you go in this room, and then to the left, you go around this area, and you'll see this dynamite there. You're going to use that a couple times, so you grab the dynamite, and then you go back up towards where you came in, basically, and then go across to the other side, and you blow up that wall. Then you go down there. You can go into the first door, and there's a person behind here. He tells you a clue. Basically, it's the order of the flames for the next part. So you want to remember that order that he tells you. Now, see this part that lines up? You want to do a face, and then like the dog, and then the snake on the bottom. So it's like the face at the top, dog in the middle, snake on the bottom. If it's the way that's facing the yellow, you see it's like the face on the bottom, then the snake, and then the dog on the top. But just do it the way I did it. And then you can go into the second door once you get that green light. And this goes in the order white, yellow, purple, red, blue, green from left to right. So you just grab each of the different colors and then fill these in here. The blue one, I noticed it takes a little while for that prompt to actually work for me. So it might take a couple attempts on some of these to get that thing to pop up so you can actually light them up. But once you get these lit up with that order, the white, yellow, purple, red, blue, green, then you can go and open the third door. Okay, now that is complete. So you go up there, go into the third door. Now, one of these is going to make you go down, and then the other two will kill you. But if you get killed, just try one of the other ones. See, like the third one is the one. So you have to keep going down to the next floor, I think 4 times. And once you go down 4 times, you just go and talk to the girl. It's the same girl. You basically freed her. I'm not sure what the point in this one is, because it's weird, because at the end you just end up on the same level that you started on. And then you talk to her, and then after you talk to her, you go upstairs and then talk to the first guy that you talked to, and he will give you the Explorer egg. Okay, so that one takes a few steps, but pretty straightforward. Just follow what I was doing in this video. To get the Super Easter Egg, you're going to have to access it from Ruins of Wukong, so watch this video to see where you go from the spawn point. You basically jump over one of the huts and then turn around, go past that whole rock area, and then find this person, Sarah Wilmington. There is a little spot right across from her. See those pieces of wood? Go up that little hill, and then you go to this teleportation station, and then you get teleported to Return of the Rabbit. So in the very beginning, it's going to take a while for the door to open, so just wait around for a little bit until the door opens. So essentially what you're supposed to do here is there are different turrets that turn on, and you're trying to take out the turrets. There's 4 of them, and you're going to have to take them out. And in order to get up to the turrets, there is a little power station, and you basically transfer your power to the little station at the top. So in order for you to get power, you go down to the bottom, you shoot all those little grasshopper creatures, those creepy little creatures that are coming out of the spaceship. You shoot those until your power is full on the bottom, and then you climb up to the top, over to where the active turret is. See how one of them has an indicator? Climb up to that side, and then see how you transfer your power over to that. So now I'm out of power, so now I need to go back down and shoot some more of these little grasshopper things. And then after I've got more power there on the bottom, I need to make my way up to that same turret and then transfer my power. So each turret takes about 2 full power transfers, and then you press the A button next to it. That takes out that turret. So that now, as you can see, the next turret is active. So I'm coming down here, you got to shoot those things, and then you got to make it to the active turret, transfer the power to that turret, and then go back down, keep shooting those guys. So keep doing this over and over. Right now in the video, I'm on the second turret, transferring my power to it. You're going to go through 4 total turrets. If you get shot like I just did, I went oof, but you will get respawned and you will start basically where you left off. So you won't have to start from the beginning. It's okay. So just get down there, shoot those little creatures to get your power. Make sure that you're bouncing. You have to do double jumps up these little walls. They can be a little bit of a trick to jump up those walls, but make sure you're just jumping up the right one so that you're accessing the proper turret and transferring your power to it. After you take out all 4 of the turrets, you will end up getting the Super Easter Egg, basically. So you take all 4 of them out, you transfer your power to all of them, and then you're going to end up with this Super Easter Egg. The radio egg is in undernest, and it's another one of those random spawning eggs that should show up basically somewhere close to the beginning. You want to kind of look around and see if you see it anywhere near the spawn. It's there's a couple different places it could be. I found it right here around the corner, so if you don't find it, it may respawn hopefully soon, but that is how you get the radio egg. It's kind of like the doggo egg in Hardboiled City. It's just a freebie egg for you. Okay, the spider egg is found in the undernest. You take a right as soon as you spawn, and then you just head up this hill, and then you'll see a spider nest. You go into the back, and then you will be teleported to this little mini game. So you have to press down to duck, up to jump. I'm using an Xbox controller, but there's different controls, you know. Just so figure out what is duck, what is jump. So you want to slide under the web, and you want to move so that you don't fall down any of the holes, but then after a minute of that, you go to the end and you are rewarded with a spider egg. Okay, the dark nest egg is in the undernest. As soon as you start, you see this bridge over here, and then down below, you see that area. Just jump down there. It's the easiest way to get there. And then you see this bird. You have to talk to him. He goes, caw, caw, but he gestures down into that hole. So you go into the hole, you grab one of those crystals. It's a little dark, so you kind of don't have a whole lot of light. So just follow this path, go to these cannons, and you want to make sure you shoot at the right time, so you go between the little gaps. But then you grab that, and then after the fourth cannon, it will teleport you here, and then you move forward a little bit, and then you've got the dark nest egg, the egg of dark nest. Newton's third law of eggs is in the undernest. As soon as you start out, there's a rope ladder up there, so head up there, talk to that guy there. If there's a bunch of people, you're doing zip lines, and if people run into you, you're going to get knocked off and you're going to have to start over. I recommend if you do have an umbrella really helps here. It makes it so much easier. You can actually just kind of float to the different spots and then float exactly where you want. But if you go down all the zip lines, towards the end of the zip line, you will find there is an egg, Newton's third law egg. I landed on the cage on top of it, but if you go down the zip lines, it will put you right inside the cage, and then you go in there and you grab the egg and Newton's third law. I already got it in a live stream, so that's why it didn't pop up for me, but that's how you get the Newton's third law of eggs. Okay, so the press egg is found in the undernest. You want to go across that bridge and then take a right. So from the spawn point, you go across the bridge, you take a right, and then you just keep right. Just kind of keep going up this way, go up these stairs over here, keep on the right side, and you're going to try to find a teleporting station. So just follow the path that I'm taking here, and then off to the left you see these stairs there, and then there's a little teleporter here, and this teleporter is going to send you to a place called Blizzard Valley. So you get in Blizzard Valley, you can talk to Scrooge there. He tells you to get on this sleigh. You get on the sleigh, and then there's going to start a countdown for a little bit, and then you have to shoot basically presents to all these houses from the sleigh. You have to hit every single house. Basically just try to aim for the presents. You can shoot quite a bit, but then you run out of power, but then you build power again and it's not a problem. So you want to make sure you hit every single one of these chimneys. In some cases you have to kind of aim down quite a bit, so it doesn't seem like the gun actually aims down, but after you get all the houses, you will get the press egg. Okay, to get the Aymor, the boss battle, you got to go across the bridge and then take a right as soon as you go across the bridge from the spawn. Follow this path. You're going to go up the stairs, just kind of hug the right side so that you go back to this little area. There's a teleportation station that you need to go to. But in order to teleport, you have to make sure you have all the treasured eggs from the first 4 levels. If you need to know how to get those, then watch my videos. But you have to have all those treasured eggs. You put them down, and then you can go back to this teleporter where you go to Aymor's lair. So a bird is going to pick you up and bring you to the center, and what you're supposed to do is basically grab these pieces of dynamite. You should have an umbrella for this that you need to get from the shop owner at the very beginning, but then you have to basically fly over, grab the dynamite, grab 3 pieces of dynamite, and then place them around the bird, and then you're going to wake him up, and then that's where it gets really hard. Basically, he's going to wake up, he's going to start shooting you with lasers, like a lot of lasers, and you're going to roll around, and then there's going to be pieces of dynamite that will spawn randomly in the map. So you have to pick up the dynamite and then go into the barrels before he shoots you, because if he shoots you, then the dynamite in your hand is going to blow up, and you have to hit the barrel that will actually make you make contact with him and not just go by him. So you have to hold the dynamite in your hand and go to the correct barrel to make sure that you actually make contact with him, and try not to get hit by the lasers in the process. And when you're done with this, you will get the Aymor for beating the final boss. But if you lose right now, it's a little buggy. You kind of have to start all over, because it'll just grab you and kind of have you sit up there there at the top. So make sure you win, and if you lose right now and it takes you and it gets you all locked up and a bird is holding you above him like this, I will show you. This bird's going to come and hold me up like him. So if you get to this point, you're just going to have to shut down and rejoin and start from the beginning, because right now this is locked up. So that is how you get the Aymor egg, and then after that you can go and get your DIY egg. In order to get the DIY egg, first you need to, in the library, go to the top, and there's a little bag here in the corner. As you can see in my inventory, I've already got the bag there, and I've got one of the crayons from 2 of the levels, so I will still show you how to get those. But first things first, Wonderland Grove, as soon as you spawn, hang to the left and go to this maze in here. So there's a crayon in the maze. You kind of have to head to the back, and it's around a corner where the butterfly is. Just watch the path, or not the butterfly, where Insanely Luke is, kind of close. So if you have Insanely Luke, just keep going around the corner, and there it is right there. That is the first crayon. Okay, now we're going to work our way outside of this maze. Okay, so from here, there's one up in the tree. We've climbed up this tree several times, so just bounce up to the top, and after this part, take a right across this bridge, and then you'll see the second crayon right there. And then now you're looking for a purple house with a purple well in the corner. See that house? And the crayon is right there around the other side of the well. Now in Easterbury Canals, first one is right behind the main building when you spawn right there. See? Okay, so you got to climb up to the top of the building, and you get the first crayon up there, and then head across over the way to the chocolate factory, and then go to this hidden canal down here, and then you'll find this one. Okay, and then take a left and head all the way down to the ice cream parlor, because the last one is over on the other side behind the ice cream parlor over here. Okay, now in Hard-Boiled City, the first one, look around for this. There's a car that's kind of crashed up against the wall on the outside. You see I'm kind of wandering around looking for it. See that car right there? Alright, so that car, the alley right next to it, go into the alley, and then underneath there, under the stairwell, you will find the first crayon. So the next crayon, there's one in Captain's Yards, and there's one in Frittata City. So go to the subway so that you can teleport over to those locations. Okay, so we're going to go to Frittata Square, and then straight ahead, that theater, you got to jump up to the top there. You got to find a way to get up to the top, and there is a crayon right up there. Okay, so now go over to Captain's Yards. This is one of the ones that I've already got, so you won't see it appear, but it's in this construction area. You go in there and you make your way up to the top in the building, and you'll find there's a crayon right up here as well. But yeah, it's not in this video because I already got it by accident earlier. Now in Ruins of Wukong, from the spawn point, you go into the temple, you take a right, and then go down underneath, and in this little crypt, you will find one of the crayons. Okay, so now we're going to go back up to the top outside of here and find the second crayon. So if you go to the top of the temple and then head down this way, down this back corner, there's a waterfall with a barrel next to it. See that waterfall right across from the guy? There's going to be another crayon up here. This is another one that I already got previously when I was getting the cobra egg. The cobra egg's over there as well, but there should be a crayon up here as well. So then the third and final crayon in the Ruins of Wukong, you can go around the side of the temple, and then you'll find this house. There's just this little house right there, and you can get the third crayon. You can slow down the video if you need to. Now, Under Nest. Go across the bridge after you spawn, and then take a right, just like I did here, and then just keep hanging right and follow this path. This is basically to the teleport where the bird is, the Lord Aymor bird, but then instead of going up there, you take a left behind the skeleton bird, and you get that first one. Okay, now from the spawn point, again, you want to head back along this path, and then there's going to be basically this bridge, this little wooden bridge that goes up here, and there's a bunch of cages. So you climb to the top of all these cages, and then come around to this corner here, and you will find that crayon as well. This next one's a little tricky. I wandered around a little bit trying to find the spot, but if you kind of look at the video and look at the path that I take, there's a couple different landmarks that will kind of show you exactly how to get to this spot. So that wasn't it right there. So see that wheel right there? that little wheel in the middle. You definitely want to look for that, and then look for these tracks, these train tracks, and then head up the train tracks. You can look down. By the time you're heading up here, you can look down at the city and you can see the wheel on the right there, and then you see the little milk river, and then you take a left and you head up there, and that is the third crayon. So you have to beat the boss, the Lord Aymor guy, in order to construct the egg. Right now, that's buggy for me, so the ruined library is still ruined, but after you beat the last boss, a person will be up here and you can make the DIY egg. In order to get the feathered Fabergégg, you have to get all of the eggs. So watch my tutorials on how to get every single egg, and as soon as you are done, you go to the ruined library after it's fixed. You go down where the Inkwell egg is, and then head down the stairs, and then there you go. From getting all of the eggs, you are rewarded this final master egg, and it's called the feathered Fabergégg. Okay, so the infection egg, think of it as like a virus that is basically started by the admins. You have to touch an admin or touch somebody who has the eggfection egg. So now that I've gotten the eggfection egg, if somebody touches me, they actually get the eggfection egg. So it's basically an infection that starts with the Roblox admins. So that is how you get it. So make sure you're wandering around and touching people so that you can get the eggfection eventually. For the admin egg, you need to get it from a Roblox admin, so you need to find one. I've got Hippie of Doom over here. Huge shout out to Hippie of Doom. He gave me the Eggman 2018. So you have to find them in a game. Just make sure they've got like the little O thing next to their name in the server, and try to get an admin in a game to give you the Eggman egg. It's not really that easy to find, and it could be in any server, and it really doesn't matter. You know, you just get in there, try to join an admin, and try to get an egg from them. All right, so there are basically 11 pieces that you have to find, but you have to start a mission here in order to get the 15 eggs. So we're going to show you where all of the 11 pieces are and how to start the mission. So you're not going to be able to find any of these pieces until you do this first. So go to Hardboiled City, go to Cap on Yards, and then follow this path to the arcade back there in the Great Egg Society. Then you need to talk to this guy, Mr. Roblox, and he's going to tell you that they basically lost pieces of the puzzle that you have to find. So now after you talk to him, you are on a mission to find 11 pieces of the puzzle, and then he will give you a portal to the 6th stage, and in the 6th stage, Fractured Spaces is where you can find the Fifteam egg. So this is going to be a video to show you how to find the puzzle pieces right now. Okay, so the first egg is in the library by the entrance. It's kind of tricky to get up there, so use your umbrella, jump on that door, float over to this little chandelier, deny any party requests from people who are trying to party, climb up those little ropes, and then use, yeah, okay, so see that? It's in the middle on the very top one. I just got that first piece, so use that method to get up there if you can. So now we are in Hardboiled City. We are going up to the Festival of Eggs, so you have to go up to the rooftops and then go to this little teleporter over here. This one's kind of weird. It's going to take a little time. Just point your airplane straight up in the air and fly as far up as possible. It's a little easier to see what you're aiming for when it's nighttime, but basically there's a little hidden island up there with a cactus on it. See, now you can see how it's a little brighter, so just head there. It takes a while to do this. Make sure you do not run your plane into the bottom of the island like I did and then have to fly up again. This is actually sped up quite a bit, so you're going to spend a little bit of a time going around and then fly around the cactus, and then make sure that you can fly through and get yourself that little puzzle piece right there. So that is the second puzzle piece. This next one is in the Return of the Rabbit Gang, which you enter through Wukong. It's a mini game where you have to battle this rabbit guy. Watch my video if you don't know how to get here through Wukong. My video for the superhero egg tells you how to get here. You just basically turn around, you jump over the huts, you go past the rocks, and then you see this lady, you talk to her, and then you go up to the portal up on the hill. So you have to come in here, you have to defeat the boss again. You have to go through this whole process, and in order to do that, just watch that video again on the superhero egg. You basically shoot these little tiny rabbits at the bottom, and then you get power, and then you charge up those little lasers to get the shield on the rabbit, and then the shield is down, and then you get the last laser to actually shoot the rabbit, and then you have to finish the minigame, and then after you finish the minigame, you will see where the puzzle piece is. And just watch, and we'll show you exactly where it is. Okay, you'll see back there, you can actually see the piece. So one of these little tubes here, I didn't see it the first time, but if you look back in these little tubes, see that little piece right there? There you go. One of the puzzle pieces, and that will spawn after you take out the rabbit. It doesn't seem to spawn beforehand. Okay, so the next one we're going to go to Stein's basement. So you access the portal here from Easterbury Canals in the back. You go into Stein's basement. It's pretty easy to find back behind that thing. So you don't actually have to fight the rabbit. You know the door that opens when you actually beat him over off there? Behind that, go behind that, and then you'll see a puzzle piece right up there. Okay, so that is the fourth puzzle piece. The next one we're going to go into the Undernest, and we're going in here so that we can access Blizzard Valley, the little snow place where you got the press egg and you were shooting presents at all the houses and all that stuff. So this is how to get to the portal. We're gonna go to Blizzard Valley. When you get in there, there's a box full of turtles. So you find that box full of turtles. It's kind of hard to see the piece, but if you jump in that box full of turtles, you will find the egg inside, or you will find the sixth piece you can find over here in the ruins of Wukong. So you want to go over to where where the monkeys are, basically. There's this area where there's a whole bunch of little traps. See all those traps on the ground? Don't go in the first one. Wait, go in the next one. It's like the second one from there. You want to go down in the trap, and in the trap you will find this puzzle piece. Merlin Swamp, which you access through Wonderland. You just go up in the tree, and then the teleportation unit is up there. Go up to the top and go up these stairs, and then if you go up these stairs way in the back, you will find that there is a puzzle piece around the corner and up on the back of this little pillar right here. Okay, so that is what, 6 puzzle pieces right now. Huge shout out, by the way, to Inlay Games for helping me out with this. We worked together and he found pretty much all of these for me. The next one, you have to go to Easterbury Canals, and once again, you have to go through this little mission where you talk to the mayor, you fix the table, then you go to Billy Bonka's chocolate factory, then you get the Sub-Zero ice cream. Basically, you need to get inside of Billy Bonka's chocolate factory, and this is the only way that I know of to do it. So you have to go through this whole effort that you went to get the treasured egg. So just watch how we do this. We're gonna fill these tables, then we're gonna go talk to Billy Bonka, get our ice cream, and we're gonna get access. And the piece is kind of in a weird location inside of there. It's kind of hard to find, but just kind of watch my video and watch where I get the piece, and then that will hopefully help you find the piece when you're trying to find it. So now that you give Billy Bonka his ice cream, you come up here and try to find, like, in a little corner there, you can, I'll show you here what it looks like. My computer kind of pops something up there. So it's in the back here. It took me a little bit to kind of find the location because it's a little tricky to find. So just make sure you are patient. But hopefully watching me wander around for it will help you kind of find everything that you need to figure out where it is yourself. Because I was just wandering around a lot trying to find this piece. Like I was told it was in here, and then trying to find it was a little bit of a challenge. So go through, and then back here, down there. Oh, there we go. There's the puzzle piece. So hopefully that helps you find where that one is. It's a little tricky to find that one. So now this one in Wonderland, my buddy Inlay plays also helped me find this one. So back here behind the blue house, roll under that little black checkered part, and then back behind there, you will find the 9th piece to get to the portal for the Fifteam egg. Okay, so now we are loading up here for another level, and this is Hardboiled City. Okay, Hardboiled City, for this piece, you want to go to the subway station, of course, go to Capon Yards, and then in Capon Yards, it is you will find a puzzle piece basically under the docks in the back here. See that little puzzle piece in the back corner there? Yep, there is the 10th puzzle piece. And now the 11th and final one, we are gonna go to Undernest. So if you guys remember where the fragment was at all for this to get to the Dominus Gate, basically, or where the Newton's egg was, you go up the zip line here in the very beginning. So you go up here, you climb along this whole thing, you go along the zip line. It's even easier if you have an umbrella. You know, it's umbrellas make it a lot easier for you. But let's see. Okay, so we're gonna go along this zip line, then go to the top, and then, you know, might as well pull out your umbrella, use it to help you. So watch where I go here. It's kind of up here, and then up, and then you have to float on over here, and then you look left, and you see all those vines over there? You're gonna find a little hole in the back, and then the hole inside the hole in the back, you will find the puzzle piece in the back over there. So now that you've got 11 puzzle pieces, you go back to Hardboiled City, and we're going to go over to the arcade, and we're going to talk to that guy that we talked to originally, and we're going to give him the 11 pieces of the puzzle. And as you can see here, he is going to open up a portal, and that is going to give us access to this amazing new level as a part of the egg hunt known as Fractured Spaces. It looks pretty cool with the overview, and it looks like it's got a little bit of each level. Like you start out in the library, then you go through an area which is really you know, it's got some Wonderland. It's got a little bit of each level. It looks like really cool. So check this out. Yeah, doesn't that look awesome? Fractured Space. Now, if you go in there, the Fifteam egg is in here somewhere. I don't know where it is yet. I'm going to go find it, and I'm going to give you guys a video as soon as I do. So stay tuned, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Okay, the final egg, the Fifteam egg. You have to get to Fractured Space. This is a special level you get to. You have to get all 11 pieces. The previous video that I put out right before this one, I show you how to get every single one of those pieces, how to get to the portal, and how to get to Fractured Space. Once you get here, then you've got another crazy obby on your hands. There's really a couple of areas that were more challenging than others. Some of it's pretty straightforward. You just run. Make sure you hit those little jigsaw puzzles because those are save points. But there's these black and white pillars where, I don't know, the only way I could figure out doing it was to use my umbrella, stick to it, and then like turn the umbrella off, you know, jump up, turn the umbrella off, jump up, turn the umbrella, just like I did right here as an example. So yeah, you do that, and then there's a lot of places where it seems like you just have to do that. This one you can just let go of your umbrella, and you should be able to just walk up the building and then hit the zip lines there at the top. So yeah, just watch how I do it on the pillars. The main tips I have is learn how to be really good at using your umbrella to stick to a wall, and then double jump, like let go of your umbrella, double jump, and then turn your umbrella back on and stick to the wall. And then you can slowly climb up a little bit more each time. So that is pretty challenging. Also, the boat up at the top, if that gets stuck, then just keep jumping on the boat. You'll see how it got stuck for me here in this video, and then I couldn't get in it, I couldn't move, but just jump on it, and then eventually you'll be able to kind of loosen it up and then get it to where you can actually fill on the boat. So watch how I do this, and then see how I get to the end. Hopefully this is helpful for you if you have any challenging points that you're working on to try to do this. So this right here is the really hard part, okay? This is what was driving me crazy and took me forever. Once I got past this, getting past other things wasn't so hard. But yeah, as you can see, you'll see me struggle through this just a couple of times. I edited a few of those out, actually. So once I get past this point and you get to the boat at the top, it's pretty much smooth sailing from there. Just watch the video and see how I do it. And there we go. You reached the end of this really long obby, and you shall see on a pillar a Fifteam egg. And then you grab that bad boy, and it is yours. I hope I've helped you guys find a lot of eggs during this egg hunt. It's been pretty crazy. The best egg hunt yet, I think. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell for future event videos and other sort of exclusive items, as well as live streams and hanging out with this awesome community. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good one.